Good morning, Steve Ree in Chicago with the morning grain comments. Markets are mixed overnight with the corn and bean market higher and wheat lower. Yesterday, we had a steep sell-off in most commodities, led by crude oil, and it filtered into the grains with at one point corn and wheat was down the daily limit. Markets tried to recover a little bit, but still we're below some levels that we've seen last week. Some people attribute the steep sell-off from last week's highs to the fact that prices may have been high enough to start rationing demand, concern about China's economy going into a recession, COVID reducing some of their import needs, and maybe reducing their soybean buying. On yesterday's sell-off, there was talk about them buying maybe 9 to 12 cargoes of beans split between U.S. and Brazil. In the corn market, we're still wondering about corn exports out of Ukraine. Yesterday's sell-off was due to talk about the Russian envoys saying there was constructive talks, but overnight, those same Russian envoys said that the talks basically broke down and that they're continued to talk. Ukraine is not willing to give up territory. It wants the Russian troops out of Ukraine. We also note that the Russians put out a document saying that because of a humanitarian corridor, they will allow vessels to leave Ukraine ports. Problem is they didn't really talk about vessels getting into those ports, and also that many of the ports' water are mined. And also there has been some destruction of some of the Ukraine elevators. So, I mean, we're kind of sitting here in limbo waiting for the next headline as far as corn is concerned. Wheat, we did see an article about Europe offering money to Morocco, Tunisia, Algeria to buy wheat, but also some type of issues with them buying energy from the North African countries. We're still concerned about wheat exports not meeting USDA's goals, especially in the Black Sea and Europe. But we'll be watching pretty closely U.S. weather, as there's been some showers in the eastern part of the hard red brown wheat areas. But the 8 to 14 day came out talking about warm and dry conditions for the southern plains. Continues to be too much rain across the Delta and the Tennessee and Ohio River areas, which could delay spring plantings there. Tomorrow we have the USDA report. Usually markets already been pricing in the average trade guess for acres and stocks, but USDA tends to have a lot of surprises. So again, stocks of the corn and beans higher than a year ago, wheat stocks lower. And from an acreage standpoint, bean and wheat acres up, corn acres down from a year ago. And again, on March 1, don't know if the U.S. farmer knew exactly what he was going to plant yet. As always, these are my thoughts and not those of ADM Investor Services. Have a safe and profitable trading day. And remember, always treat people like you yourself would like to be treated.